George Clooney had long been known as Hollywood's most eligible bachelor. For decades, he insisted marriage wasn't for him. He was successful, admired, and perfectly content with the life he'd built. That was until Amal entered his orbit, a brilliant, elegant, and fearless international human rights lawyer who turned his world upside down. When the two met in 2013, even George admitted he was instantly captivated by her intelligence and grace. But it wasn't just her beauty or her career achievements that won his heart. It was her compassion, her depth, and her quiet confidence. George once said, "I knew from the moment I met her that my life had changed forever." And he was right. Their love story quickly blossomed into something deeply genuine. In 2014, they married in a breathtaking ceremony in Venice, Italy, an event that drew global attention not just for its glamour, but for the way George looked at Amal. It was clear this was a man who had finally found what he didn't even realize he was missing. Fast forward to a recent event honoring George's career and humanitarian work. Amal was asked to say a few words about her husband, and what followed was one of the most touching speeches ever witnessed from the famously private couple. Standing before a room full of Hollywood icons and dignitaries, Amal's voice trembled as she began to speak about the man she loves. She said, "My husband is a man who has given so much to the world, through his work, his kindness, and his humor. But what most people don't see is the man who gives so much to our family every single day. George is the person who makes our home feel like the safest, happiest place in the world." The crowd was already emotional, but Amal wasn't done. She continued, "Before I met him, I didn't know that love like this could exist. A love that is patient, selfless, and full of laughter. George has not only been my partner but my anchor. He makes me feel seen, supported, and deeply loved every single day." As Amal's words echoed through the room, cameras caught George wiping tears from his eyes. The actor who had made the world laugh and cry through countless performances was now visibly overcome with emotion. For once, he was the one left speechless. Those who know George Clooney say he's rarely caught off guard. But this time, Amal's heartfelt words broke through even his famously composed exterior. When it was his turn to speak, he smiled softly, still fighting back tears. He looked at his wife and said, "I don't know what I did to deserve you, but I'm the luckiest man alive." The audience erupted into applause. It was a simple response, but one that carried immense emotion. You could feel the sincerity in every word. For George, who once swore he'd never marry or have children, life with Amal had rewritten every chapter of his story. One of the most inspiring things about George and Amal's relationship is how much they admire each other's work. Amal's dedication to justice and human rights isn't just impressive, it's world-changing. She's defended victims of war crimes, stood before international courts, and become one of the most respected legal minds of her generation. And through it all, George has stood proudly by her side, often calling himself Amal's husband with a smile. He said many times that she inspires him to be better, to care more deeply, and to use his influence for something meaningful. Together, they've created not just a marriage, but a partnership rooted in compassion and mutual respect. Despite being one of the most famous couples in the world, George and Amal have managed to keep much of their private life just that, private. They live a peaceful life in their stunning Lake Como estate in Italy, where they're raising their twins, Ella and Alexander. George has often joked about fatherhood, saying the twins have inherited their mother's intelligence and his sense of humor. But behind the jokes, there's a deep sense of pride. He's confessed that being a husband and father has been the greatest role of his life, far greater than any Oscar or film. Amal has echoed that sentiment, saying, "George is an incredible father. He's the one who teaches our children to laugh at life, to find joy in small things, and to always be kind. It's these quiet moments, reading bedtime stories, cooking breakfast, laughing together, that define their love story far more than any red carpet appearance ever could." As the event ended, George and Amal shared a quiet, tender moment, a simple look that spoke volumes. It was as if they were silently saying, "We made it, together." So, what do you think of Amal's emotional confession? Do you believe George Clooney finally found the love of his life in Amal? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more heartwarming celebrity stories, touching confessions, and inspiring love stories that remind us all what really matters in life. Because in a world full of noise and glamour, stories like these remind us that the most powerful thing of all is love.